Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our flipped notebook. We haven't done one of these in a while just because of our access test and a lot of other things that have been going on. So I'm really excited to jump back into our notebook. And I wanted to let you know to really pay attention to the video and listen very carefully because at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a clue word. And if you come in to the classroom with this clue word, then you will receive an extra bean in your jar. So there are 6 students in Reach C. So if all 6 of you come in with this clue word, that's 6 beans that go in your jar. I'll also put the clue word at the very end of the Google form. So once you answer your questions on the Google form and you hit that submit button, and there's like a little thing that pops up that says, you have submitted. Inside there, I'll put the clue word too. So make sure that you listen to the video very carefully so that at the end, you get my clue word. And then again, it will be at the end of your Google form also. Okay, so let's get into our flip notebook for today. All right. So on our table of contents page, I already have this page filled out for us. Let me clear it up here. I'm on page number 10. You might be on a different page, and that's okay. Today, we're going to be talking about verbs. We started reviewing verbs last week, and this week we're going to dive a little bit more into different kinds of verbs because there's not just action verbs. There's other kinds. This is part of Unit 2, Part 2. Okay, so whenever you have that filled out, let's jump to our page. Where is mine? Here we go. So as you can see, I have mine already pasted down into my notebook. You should have pasted yours down also in class today. We have these 2 flaps. So when we pasted them down, we made sure that we could still fold the flaps back so that we can write underneath them. So make sure that you have that ready. Up at the top, even though I have verbs right here, I'm going to write it at the top again. So I'm going to write verbs. Okay. The page for me is page 10. And then the date for me is the 23rd. Now, your date might be a little different if you weren't here today. That's okay. You can just go ahead and write whatever the date is for you. All right, so let's jump into verbs. We've already learned about action verbs. We know that action verbs are what the nouns in the sentence are doing, right? So we can jump, run, or sing. These are things that the noun or the subject who we're talking about in the sentence, what they're doing. Okay, so we've talked a lot about different kind of nouns or verbs. We've played some games with verbs. What I want you to do on this flap is over here on this side. I want you to write 3 verbs of your own. So think of 3 different actions, 3 different things that you can do. Okay, I'm going to ask you not to just copy these 3. And I'm going to ask you not to just copy mine. Okay, so I'm going to write eat, sleep, and read. And I want you to think of 3 action verbs of your own and just write them right here on the flap. Once you've done that, we're going to go on and we're going to write an example sentence right here underneath or on the other side of that flap. Okay. So my dad is running fast. I'm going to take a different color pen and I am just going to circle my verb. So what is my dad doing? He is running. That's the action that he's doing. That's my action verb. Okay. Now we're going to look at something new. We're going to look at linking verbs now. So I'm going to fold this back. Okay. And a linking verb does just that. It links things together in our sentence so that our sentence makes sense. And here are some of the linking verbs that we're going to use today. Am, is, and are linking verbs. They are put in the sentence after the noun so that your noun is connected to your verb. Okay, so we're going to write connects the noun or the subject to the action. Okay, and I'm going to really quickly, sorry about that, write in parentheses here, goes after the noun. So once you have all this written, we're going to open up the flap. So if you need to pause the video, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to open mine up. There are some rules to how to use them, to which one of these am, is, or are that we need. Okay, so let's go over those rules. And I'm going to write the rules on the flap. Okay, if you use he, if you use she, if you use it, you're then going to use the verb or the linking verb is. Okay. If you use the words I, then you're going to use the verb am. If you use the words they or we, you're going to use the verb are. So depending on what you're talking about in a sentence, you're going to use different linking verbs. So we're going to write an example for each one of those. So she is reading a book. Okay. So I'm going to grab another pen real quick. My action verb, what she is doing is she is reading. So my linking verb, what is linking my noun to my verb is the word is. So is my linking verb. I wouldn't say she reading a book. I have to say she is reading a book. Okay. The same goes for if we have a name in there that we could substitute one of these pronouns for. Okay. So if I had a sentence like Tim, is swimming today, we know that our action verb is swimming because that's what Tim is doing. Now, Tim is a he. So since Tim is a he, I'm going to use the linking verb is. Okay. Now let's look at the word I. I am playing soccer. So what am I doing while I'm playing? And since I have the noun I or the pronoun I, oops, wrong color, I'm going to use the word am. And then the last is they or we. We're using the word are. So they are going to the movies. I think I'm stretching my sentence beyond my tab. So what are they doing? They're going. Going is my action verb. They're going. You can go. I'm using the word they, so my linking verb is are. I can't say they going to the movies, right? That doesn't make any sense. They are going to the movies. And the same rule applies here as up here. So if instead of saying they, I had Johnny and Susie are going to the movies, well, Johnny and Susie, they would be a they, right? So that's how I know to use the word are. All right. So once you are done with your notebook, you can go ahead and go back to the Google form and answer the questions. Our clue word to earn your bean tomorrow is the word linking verb, or the words linking verbs. Okay. You can also find this clue word at the end of your Google form after you submit your answers. I can't wait to see everybody tomorrow and see who has that clue word. Bye. Stop.